Hello, dear soul. Are you struggling with anger? Well, you're not alone. I am too. And in today's journal entry, I want to talk about some ways that we can deal with that anger, move through it, and get to a place of love and forgiveness in our hearts. Welcome to the Lightbearer's Library. My name is Kate Harmony. So, there is a lot of anger out there, and there's a lot of anger in our own hearts and minds, perhaps, and it's like they kind of almost reflect one another. But it's each of our individual responsibilities to move that anger through us, to not hold on to it, and to release it. Because when we hold on to anger within us, it's only hurting ourselves, right? It's only poisoning our own physical, mental, spiritual, energetic fields, if you will. And so it's really important that we deal with it in some way, that we don't just kind of try and stuff it all down and be like, I'm not angry, I'm not angry. It's like, oh, and I kind of find that if I'm not working with the anger to move it through, then it almost is as if that anger towards, the way people have treated me or the way things are, it's just like that anger ends up getting turned on myself, and I end up being really angry with my own self and my own, just it's really mean. It can get really mean in there, and so I know that it's important. It's the energy of it is in our field, and so we need to move it out. And I talked about this in a previous journal entry about how we could have grief playlists that help us deal with these emotions. And I got a lovely comment from my Alberta friend, and they said, because most of the suggestions that I put of what I listen to are sort of more softer genres, and they're saying, but sometimes I find an intense song can lift me better than something more mellow. I seem to channel my angst in a better direction when a crazy theme or intensity hits my ears. Are there any songs that I've listened to that have listened to outside of your normal catalog that surprised you in theme or gave you a feeling you didn't expect? And this is such a wonderful question, and it actually brought me back to some music that I used to listen to back when I did my old YouTube channel, Hack Music Theory. The banner on the bottom that said my name, it was like it was a closet metalhead, and because my husband was in metal bands all his youthful young life, and that was what he used to listen to a lot. Now he listens to mostly classical and Bach. It's certainly energy that moves, or certainly music that moves the energy through. And so I went back to one of my favorite bands is actually a Norwegian metal band called Leprous. And it's absolutely one of my favorite bands out there. And the singer is just, his voice touches me like no other voice in the entire world. And the melodies in the music is just amazing. So it's not what you might typically think of as metal. And it's intense and wonderful. So I would suggest listening to it, but I wanted to share some of the lyrics from this song that is one of the songs that I listened to actually move through some of my own anger yesterday and to just get it out. And the song is called At the Bottom. And the lyrics are also just really powerful, because I've talked about that before, is like reading through the lyrics and is like, do those do those align with you? And so it says, sinking conclusion, unstable spark, ready to leave this unwelcoming dark. The day made the chaos inadvertent pain, forging the key to unlock my chain, freeing myself from the destructive rain. When I'm at the bottom, and then this is the chorus, when I'm at the bottom, right at the bottom, where I grasp for a handle at the bottom, where I shine as bright as I can. Hey, I want to let it out, let it out. I want to let it out, let it out. I'm back to where I was when this began, stranded in the uncharted. Will I ever be the same? At the bottom, I have started to find my inner strength. So that song is just perfect for where I'm at right now, and I will leave that link to the album in the description below. And so it got me thinking about anger and forgiveness, and I really believe that it's that thing of, in the Bible, it says, how many times should I forgive? Should I, 7 times 7, that's enough, right? Like, if I forgive them, they keep hurting me and I forgive them that many times, then I can just then not forgive them, right? No. 70 times 7 is how many times we should forgive. Basically, infinite amount of times. So I think it's important to remember that forgiving others, it's good for us to forgive others, and recognizing that there's times in our lives when we needed forgiveness and we've done things that we're not proud of, or that we really would wish to have forgiveness for and some grace from others. So that's something I always remember. And then I always remember the other passage that comes to mind is, don't let the sun go down on your anger. And so I always try and work through that anger within the day and find forgiveness by the time the sun goes down. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, it goes down a bit early, but by the time I go to bed, so that I'm not going to sleep with all of that. And sometimes it comes up again fresh. The thoughts start spinning the next day, and I keep forgiving and keep moving through and keep just finding that peace before bed. And I think that's a really important practice to do. And so songs that are a bit heavier, that help, I found myself just dancing to it, just kind of releasing it from my body, wringing it out, because the anger really started turning in on myself yesterday. So, by forgiving others, we're releasing ourselves from that energy and that pain and anger that we turn on ourselves. So those are my thoughts on anger. And if you're feeling that at this time of the year, it feels incongruent to me to be feeling all of this deep emotional grief and anger at this time of the year, because the holidays have always been one of my favorite times of the year. They're filled with wonderful memories, and so it feels difficult. It feels difficult to be dealing with family stuff, family anger, family grief, family boundaries, family, all sorts of things. But, this is just the reality of this moment. And, who knows what next year will hold, or the next year. And but this is what I'm being asked to move through. So if you're dealing with grief and anger at this time, then know you're not alone, and keep looking for ways to help yourself move through it and forgive. And the ultimate litmus test for whether we've forgiven is when we can. Well, there's a couple things. If when we hear about that good things have happened to people that we're struggling with anger about, how we know we've let go of that anger towards them is that when we can hear that good things have happened and we genuinely are like, well, that's wonderful for them. When we can wish them peace and blessings and good things and love. And that's the practice, is to, whenever the thoughts of anger or the emotions of anger or whatever, it's don't let that spiral you downwards. It's just kind of just say, what is it? Like, I've been practicing saying, peace be to you, peace be to you. And really envisioning wonderful things happening for them and letting it go and celebrating that for them. And yeah. So I hope this has been helpful, and please do let me know if you've got any songs that are a bit heavier that help you move through that. Sometimes drum and bass, like heavy electronic music, can also do that for me. It's just poof, get it out. Get it out. Okay, well, I'm wishing you so many blessings. Thank you for being here with me today, and we will talk very soon. XOXO, Kate.